Hi, and welcome to our 2 acre world. Electroculture is a very misunderstood technique and technology, if you will, that's used in gardening. For today, we're going to be talking about magnetic antennas. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these, which magnets to use, where to get the beeswax and the materials, and how to install them in your garden. Now, magnetic antenna at their core is simply a set of ringed magnets, and we're going to cover them with beeswax. I'll show you how to do that. And what we're going to be doing is running a galvanized wire through here and running it the length of our garden. Now, I've already got my magnetic antennas installed, and you can see that in my electroculture video. So at its core, what we're going to do is we're going to create magnetic energy. It's been proven time and time again that magnetic energy improves and increases the speed of seed germination as well as the growth of plants. So we're going to be installing magnetic energy into the ground. Now, these magnetic antennas are not the same as the atmospheric antenna that we installed in the previous video. However, I've combined the two of them. The magnetic antenna, I believe, was invented, if you will, or created by Yannick van Doorn. He's probably the most current expert on electroculture itself. I've learned a lot from him. He sells these. I do not. Just for clarification, I don't sell these at all, but he's in France, and honestly, I wasn't going to buy one of these or 5 of these that I needed actually for my garden and have them shipped 5,000 miles. It just didn't make any sense. So I said, well, it doesn't seem that complicated. Let me see about making them myself. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. The first thing I did was take 12 of these ring magnets, put them together, and then run a piece of the wire that I was going to be using in the garden, simply to use it as a dip, to put it into the pan. I created a double boiler of sorts with what I had, just simply putting a pan of boiling water up underneath, cutting the wax into cubes, placing it into another pan to get it to melt.
So, melting the beeswax for the first time to build magnetic antennas. I know that the melting point for the wax is about 160 Fahrenheit. You want to be careful because there is a flash point, meaning a flame point for wax. It's significantly higher. And there is a burn point also, which we don't want to hit. However, my wax temperature is only about 117, 118. And this has been several minutes of this. It's melting the wax, but it's going very slowly. So I'm going to crank up the temperature down here in the water bath. I'm using a double boiler, obviously. I've got the forks on the bottom to keep that pan with the wax from being directly on the hot bottom. So I'm going to crank up the bottom temperature and we'll see what happens. Okay, so the water temperature's gotten up to 170 and the wax temperature is up to 120 even, so we're going to keep going. Putting the wax temperature at approximately 150 and it is pretty melted, so I'm going to go ahead and try to dip my first one in there. Okay, so I've got my magnets through the same size wire as I'm going to be wrapping them around, and I'm just going to use this as a dip, and we'll see how this goes. Try to get it all coated there. Sorry about the camera, I'm trying to watch what I'm doing in 2 spots here. That really looks good. Okay, I'm going to let that cool. And tell you what, that is completely covered, which is what I want. Nice. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to give these a second coat. I did one already. And that looks great.
And these turned out exactly like I wanted them to. I made a total of 6. What's very, very important here is that you have these magnetic antennas oriented properly north to south. So when you're running your wire in your garden, it needs to run directly to magnetic north. So I need to determine the poles of the magnetic antennas themselves. So I'm simply going to use a compass. I place a magnetic antenna up against the compass. When north is pointed towards the magnetic antenna, I know that that is the south pole of the magnetic antenna because opposite poles are going to attract. So I'm going to go ahead and label it as such, and I labeled all 5. Then I got out my wire. Now the wire that I used, you don't have to use this kind of wire. I just came across a great deal on a whole ton of this wire. This is actually galvanized steel wire. It is very, very thick. It is the bottom tension wire for a chain link fence. I dug my trenches in my garden. Now, bear in mind, you don't have to bury these in trenches, the magnetic antennas. I did bury all of my wire because I'm using the magnetic antennas in conjunction with my atmospheric antenna, the antenna that sits up on the pole. So after digging all the trenches, I rolled out the wire and then I slid the wire through the magnets and placed them into the ground. So you need to determine the poles of the magnetic antenna using a compass, and then you're going to place the north side facing magnetic north. Now, what's important about the wire is that you use only galvanized steel wire. You need galvanized to prevent the soil from rusting out and rotting out the wire and it just disintegrating because that's what will happen. The beeswax is going to perform a similar function as the galvanizing on the wire, which is going to protect these magnets. It's my belief, and I'm sure of it, that if I was to just set these magnets down into the ground by themselves without this protective beeswax covering, that the minerals in the soil would rot these magnets out in short order, and I would lose the complete effect of what I'm trying to do. Now, you don't have to use the same heavy duty wire that I used for your magnetic antennas. You can just simply use a roll of thin galvanized wire, and I'll put a link for that down in the description where you can pick some of that up. I'll also put links for the beeswax and for the magnets as well to help you out. But you can pick these up anywhere. If you find them local, that's great. If you want to make it easy, you can use the links I'll put down there. So that's what the magnetic antennas are all about. If you have a continued interest in electroculture, there's a lot of information out there, but there's also a lot of bad information. There's a lot of people attempting to debunk it. And trust me, I've looked. The people that are debunking most of electroculture are doing it wrong. End of story. So you got to pay attention to the writings of Justine Christoflo. You can get his book. You can download it for free in a PDF. I may even put a link down in the description and go ahead and just read up on that and see what he did. So magnetic antennas, you're going to put magnetic energy into your garden, and hopefully you're going to get better growth. Keep in mind that this can take time to develop the magnetic energy. In other words, it could take from 1 to 5 seasons. Should max out at about season 5 when you see maximum potential on the magnetism side for your garden. And keep in mind, you don't have to use this in a gigantic garden like we have. You can use this in a small flower bed. You can use this a lot of places. It's not just exclusively for fruits and vegetables. You can use it in a tree orchard if you have one. And just make sure to line things up north and south. If you're curious about electroculture and want to learn more about the system that I put in, you can check out this video here. Hey, thanks for watching Our 2 Acre World. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. And check out the links below. That'll give you some direction and some links to some other videos as well.
A simple life.